Well, hello there and welcome back to Brambleberry. So I started doing the intro to this earlier, and you might notice it's a little dark out right now because it's in the evening, and I've actually already done all the work. I started recording this intro, and I messed up and started over again, except I forgot to hit record. So I'm doing it right now. But anyway, today, for this particular video, we are finishing up the Greywater system for the camper. I apologize in advance. This is probably going to be one of my longer videos just because, man, I got after it today. I thought this was going to be a multi-day thing. I thought it was going to drag on for weeks, and I got this thing knocked out in a day. Actually 2 days if you count the first video. That was 1 day digging the hole, but anyhow, I'm rambling on, making the video even longer, so apologies. Enjoy. So these barrels here have that nice little seam that I think I'm just going to use as a guide to cut these. And they do have some holes already there that you might think, oh, you can put pipes in. Problem is that's a little too small for sewer pipe, so I won't be using those. So I'm just going to cut right through that and use that as my guiding line across there. Yeah, so I brought these over here to lay it out just next to the hole, and it looks like I could probably get almost another barrel in here. I may come and just dig this out a little bit further just so I can get in that extra little bit of capacity there. So I cut out that center piece so that there's continuity from one to the next. So I'll have to do that here on the end of this too. I didn't cut out, as you can see, the whole thing because I still wanted to have a little bit of rigidity to it. My thought right now is to drill some holes here and put some zip ties on there to kind of hold those together when they're down in the hole. Got my rock down in there. And I guess I'm ready to start piecing these things together, getting them in there and getting the pipes and all that laid out. I tried, I don't know for sure if it is or not, but I tried to just eyeball making this more or less level across here. I've never done this before, obviously, but my idea is that if I want this thing to be able to use its full capacity, it needs to be level on the drain field part. Otherwise, all the water is going to be down at one end and the top end won't fill up. Now, it needs to be downhill coming on the pipe down to it, but this part here needs to be more or less level. That's just my way of thinking. Like I said, never done this. Do your own research. So this is going to be the first section. I need my inlet hose on here, so I'm just going to use this fitting here. I can't use this end because it's the wrong size, but this end is where it slips over. So this should be the same as the pipe. Just easier to put this on there than a whole big pipe. I'm gonna trace around this. And then that's gonna be the size for my pipe to fit in. Alright, that should be more or less the size of my pipe. Okay, so that's the zip tie, and I don't know if that's absolutely necessary, but I wanted something to kind of hold all of that together and to keep it from moving apart when I dump rock on top of it. I will say, if I had this to do over, I'd be a little bit more precise on my cuts on the end, so it would be easier to zip tie. As it was, I was just trying to find spots where they kind of matched up more or less, so that I could get some zip ties in there. All right, so there's with it set kind of where I want it. I don't know if you saw, but when I laid that down in there, the zip ties busted on this one, so I had to flip it back over and put those back on. And then I shifted the whole thing down a little bit. I actually could have put probably another half barrel if I wanted to, but I think it's plenty. I'm just gonna fill that up with rock. So that'll still take up some water too. It'll sit in there, but each barrel's a 50-gallon drum, so this'll, just in the drum part, hold 100 gallons of water. But when you consider all the rock I'm gonna put in too, there's gonna be even more space for water in here. So I think there's gonna be plenty for our needs and just for dumping the Greywater tank on our trailer. So next thing here, I got to get some pipes run. There's the inlet hole there. So I'm gonna run a pipe up here and put a some fittings on there so that I can hook our outlet from our camper into it, and then we can dump whenever we want to. And remember, this is not for our black water, it's just for our gray water, so sinks and showers, that kind of thing. So as you can see over there, I've got all kinds of fittings. For what it's worth, this is just a word of advice. If you're doing any sort of plumbing work, buy extra fittings. Buy like double of everything that you think you're gonna need, because you'll probably still need to go back to the store and get another fitting. It's just the way of things. So I'm hoping I have enough, because it is a long haul from here to the store, and I don't want to go today. So can I just say, I know it's got its usefulness, but I hate clay. Isn't that lovely? Yuck. As it turns out, I didn't need half the things that I bought there, but that is okay. As I said, you never know, and I'll use them eventually. So we're gonna get all these glued together here. And you probably should clean all these off before you glue them. I kind of wiped them down best I could, but it's a drain, so I'm not terribly concerned about them leaking. More concerned about them just not coming apart. Not sure how well this is gonna set up, because it's pretty cold out today. I think we're a bit out of the operating temperature of this glue, but whatever. Seems like it's holding together pretty good. So this is where I'm going to put the pipe in from the camper, and it's got a little screw-on cap, and then this is going to go over there. Now we got to backfill. All right, so before I start putting some rock in here, got you one last look. I don't know if you absolutely need to put the straw down. Like I said, I've never done any of this before. But the reason I'm putting it down is to create a barrier to kind of keep the dirt from going down into the rock. I guess you could use like landscaping fabric too. That would do the same. If I was gonna do that, I probably should have lined the whole hole. I'm not that concerned about it. This is just temporary anyway. But I'm doing that, and I'm gonna push the dirt back over the top, seal it all up. Now this will be a spot where I can't drive over it. So, I mean, if you put one of these in, you gotta realize that too, because otherwise you'll crush those. So now we're gonna start backfilling the dirt. Well, there it is. Got some smoothing out to do, and I should have measured a little bit better, because I was gonna try and just use one length of hose, and it turns out it was like, I don't know, an inch too far that way to get it on there, but that's okay. I got enough hose to get over there. We just had to snake it around a bit. So I know I said previous to backfilling all this dirt that I was not going to run over it with the tractor, and technically I didn't. I straddled it with the tractor. So if you were thinking that, I was very careful to try to keep the tractor tires on either side of where the drain field hole was. So hopefully I did, and hopefully I didn't collapse anything under there. So hopefully this works, and if you stayed this long and watched, thanks for watching. And if you try and do one on your own, good luck. I hope it works out for you. Remember, as always, do your own research. Don't take my word for it. But if you get some ideas, awesome. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.